Every time Bobby types, I'm gonna.
Hello
every time
again,
Bobby gets done
everybody.
typing, I'm gonna say, "I hate you." God.
Welcome to the 25.4 podcast.
I was gonna ask if you planned on doing that to me again.
He did. He very
Your
clearly
face
did.
was perfect.
God.
So
I think I managed to stop typing before he did it, though.
So the two of us watching live, or the three of us, I guess, you and Robert and myself, got a real kick out of that. So, oh yeah.
Hastily assembled program presenting inside opinions and forecasts on major issues of the day.
That's what we are, and I am Andrew, your host, and I'm joined this evening by Brandon and Robert. Guys, how are you?
Okay.
I'm doing all right, all things considered.
You want to throw in a deep sigh as well?
There, that better. We all good now.
That wasn't
Okay.
very convincing.
And we all got
We
that
all
out
had
of
a-
our systems.
Yeah, I was gonna say we all had our release here early in the show.
Early and often. I think that should be the new motto of the show. Tim is away on assignment once again this week. He wasn't here last week either, was he?
He's a busy guy, man. He's got some big business going on somewhere.
Yeah, he's a baller. He is a baller. So, what do you say we get right down to it?
You think?
That was a question.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, well, let's get started.
With the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people.
You know, I was listening to the Windows Developer podcast. I don't remember if it was this week or last week. I was listening to the latest one, the one that the Loudermilk brothers do,
Mhm.
and they've started doing drops, audio drops. I think that's fairly new that they're doing that, and theirs sounded great. So I don't know how they're doing it, but
I'm going to take a guess and say
Congratulations.
to them for sounding so professional. Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they actually have the proper equipment to do it correctly.
Speaking of proper
Speaking of
equipment, that's all they could.
equipment,
I know that
your
damn
camera
camera.
sucks.
It does suck. Some weird magnetic field thing going on with it.
Would you like to grieve about it, or do you have a
Well, I
grievance?
would like to grieve about it a little bit, just simply because it's relatively new. It's a Microsoft Studio Cam. It's nice. It was. I bought it when it was not $69 on sale. I bought it when it was $99, and I like the camera. And it's been acting funky lately, and I don't know what the hell's up with it. It's barely a year old, so I guess I'll have to wait for Amazon to drop the price and go after one again.
Isn't it still dropped?
I didn't
I haven't
think it
looked.
was.
No, I don't think so.
Did we decide it's the same one that I have? That
I don't
isn't
think
it the
so.
one you ordered too, Brandon? Oh, it's even.
Yeah, it's the
nicer.
one. Yeah, it's the one I ordered as well.
I have to type lightly or I'll get chewed out by Brandon because of my DOS keyboard that makes too much noise.
No, it's. I'm not gonna chew you out anymore. Just when I feel like you're done typing, I'm just gonna do. Because it sounds like a goddamn typewriter.
Oh, no way! Microsoft LifeCam Studio 1080p HD webcam, $59.95.
I feel
Yeah,
like we
that's,
had this discussion last week as well. It might have been before the show, before we went live.
Well,
but,
yeah, but I didn't. Normally, these sales don't last that long.
I don't.
No,
it's
you're
just their
right, they
price.
don't.
It's not a sale. It's just the price.
Oh well, that's new. Add to
All right.
cart.
Well, I'm going to move on to my grievance, and my grievance
Let's all watch
is
Bobby shop.
well, yeah. Here, let's freeze him up on the video.
Yeah, let's put
Why don't
Bobby
you-
basically watching shop.
Can you Periscope or Meerkat that?
No, I
Everybody?
can't because I don't have an app for that.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Being on Windows Phone and all.
Well, speaking of apps, my grievance is WinFans that bitch and moan about the companies that don't develop apps for Windows Phone, and then they also bitch and moan when Microsoft goes and develops apps for the other platforms. I don't think you can have it both ways.
So you're saying that there's a little bit of a hypocrisy in that position?
Yes.
Just a smidge?
Hypocrisy with a PH.
Yes. Yes.
Hypocrisy.
There you go. I would agree with that.
All right, Brandon. Lay it on us.
So I tried to start developing a Visual Studio extension the other night, and my brain was fried in about 15 minutes flat. The amount of unwritten rules and crazy undocumented crazy shit that you have to do is just astounding, and it is frustrating the ever-living shit out of me. So that's mine.
Okay.
You have a fairly large brain, so you should be able to handle that kind of stuff, right?
We could talk about it later.
We'll do that. We'll table that for.
We're gonna table that
After
discussion.
Dark. Would you like to follow that up with an affirmation?
I can if Bobby's not gonna go. Did Bobby say anything? Did you complain about anything?
Yeah,
my camera.
first.
Yeah, my
Oh,
camera.
just the camera. Okay, all right. So yeah, sure. I'll follow up my grievance with a little bit of an affirmation. You know, Mads Christensen, the guy who does a lot of presentations for Microsoft. Tim actually reached out to him on Twitter for me because we know he does a lot of Visual Studio Extension work. He replied back and let me know where on GitHub I can find a lot of his extensions. So gave me a really good head start on the one that I want to develop, and allows me to actually see all of the unwritten shit that is not documented anywhere that you actually have to do to make this stuff work. So much appreciate that. My other affirmation is I did order a new webcam, much like Bobby just did on camera. And I'm a little bit bummed it wasn't here for tonight's show. I think it's not going to be here till Saturday now. So a little bit bummed, but next time I should be in astounding 1080p high definition. So get ready, folks. It's coming.
And why again is that it hasn't arrived yet? You don't have what? Amazon what?
I don't pay for Amazon Prime.
Because you're a cheap bastard and you hate your family. You do know that you can add up to 4 family members. You know, I'm such a good son. And brother and best friend. I've got like all these people on mine. What are you doing for your family, man?
So apparently you two have Amazon Prime, and I'm not on either of your accounts. So
I think doesn't everybody have Amazon Prime?
Well, then somebody add me to their account, because I'm a freeloader.
I like a man that's honest.
Hey, when your contract for the show comes up for renewal, we'll pay you with an Amazon Prime membership. How about that?
I'll go for that.
All right. Cool. And Mads is cool. I've reached out to him on Twitter a couple times about the Web Essentials add-in that he does, and he's good at responding to people. So that's always cool to see. Robert, would you like to? Do you have anything?
I don't know that I have anything really positive to say this week. I will compliment the Windows Insider team again, but mostly because they've gone a little more quiet the last couple of days, and to me that says heads down. And so I'm expecting a new phone build soon. So everybody, shh, leave them alone and let them do their work, so we can have a new phone build.
That would be great. You should pat yourself on the back for your creative Skype usage earlier this week. Would you like to?
All right, so
let me thickness going on there.
Yeah, let me preface this by saying we are 2 very sentimental gay men who love that dog a lot, and we have a window, a big, huge plate glass window right in the front of the house, and it was just high enough to where Joey could get right up to it and bark at strollers, protect the house from random joggers and stuff like that, and his nose prints are all over it. So being the sentimental fools we were, we haven't cleaned it yet, and now he passed away in December, so we're going on some time here. Well, we finally broke down and decided we were going to have somebody come clean the house. And it occurred to me the morning she was here, shit, I didn't tell her not to clean the window. And I didn't have her cell phone number, and Greg didn't have her cell phone number. So after about 5 minutes of panic, the light bulb went off, and I used TeamViewer, remote desktoped into my machine at home, started Skype, had Greg call me on Skype. I answered the Skype call on my home computer so that he could have a conversation with the house cleaner, who was initially appropriately freaked out a little bit. The computer started talking to her.
You just totally got blacklisted by that service.
So no, she's an individual. She's she took it in stride. She completely, and we did manage to preserve the window. So yes, that was the technological epiphany of the week for me.
So if she's an individual cleaner, sorry.
It's all right.
So if she's an individual cleaner, and she got into your house, but neither you nor Greg had her cell phone number, how the fuck does this work?
I forgot to get her cell phone number. She had ours, and she came over to the house the Sunday night before, and we gave her a key and an alarm code and da-da-da, did all that good stuff.
I think cleaners existed too before cell phones, right?
They did, actually.
So that was actually a thing.
Yeah.
Amazon existed before Prime, asshole.
I just finished my Mad Men binge today, so I've been reminded of a lot of stuff that existed before cell phones. It's been enlightening.
Have you really been able to get into that show? I haven't been able to really get into that show.
Yes. And I think I've watched 4 seasons in the last 2.5 weeks. Yeah.
I'm going to call that a hetero thing.
So that's my affirmation for myself. No, actually, I did this last week. I affirmed DirecTV, and I'm going to do it again.
Ooh.
Because I was talking to, I was telling Brandon about my cool new setup here in the office.
I was a little scared where he was going with that camera for a second.
There's us. There's the podcast. And here's, yeah, I'm going the right way. There's a second monitor with TweetDeck and the show notes on there. And over here is my other monitor, which is, tonight it's DirecTV and the Blues game. Oh, it's a commercial right now. So I'm able to be even more distracted tonight than normal and have the Blues game on. And that's thanks to DirecTV and the wireless Genie that was installed. Nobody could see that because we're still on Robert's. Fuck me. We've been watching Robert for like 20 minutes. Who's talking? God damn it! Who produces this show?
See, I do exactly who does produce the show.
So again, here's the podcast. Here's the Hangout and live, and there's TweetDeck and OneNote online with the show notes. And over here, now everybody can see, it's intermission, second intermission, but St. Louis Blues hockey. All right, I've screwed this up enough. Let's.
That was the absolute whitest announcer voice I've ever heard in my life.
Well, it's hockey. So it should
True.
be.
Fair point.
That's a pretty sweet man cave.
Yeah, this is just my office.
That's a nice setup.
I mean, you can see the background. It's obviously awesome.
I like your white privilege with the whole. Oh no, this is just my office. This isn't my man cave. This is my office.
Well, the boys have taken over the basement, so there's nothing going down there for me at all. But the Xbox One's down there, so I have to. All right, that's enough about me. Now you guys can talk about me for a while. Let's see. That's it. So that's it for my affirmations, right? We can now shoot the sheet. About 10 minutes or so. Would you like to? Let's talk about kids being punks. Let's, shall we? Robert, do you want to start off on that topic?
Why me? I don't have any kids.
I don't know.
I have dogs. See, I have dogs, and the dogs aren't punks like kids are, so I don't have to worry about that.
We really need Tim for this conversation because he has some real cute nicknames for his kids.
Yeah, Tim could really chime in on this. I only wrote it down because I came home tonight, or I was on my way home, and my wife called me and said Hudson, who's my 5-year-old, he's my middle one, decided to do something outside underneath the swing set and actually gashed his head wide open and was bleeding everywhere. And so I had to rush home, get home, pick the little one up from daycare, then get home. She took him to the emergency room tonight. He had blood all over his shirt. I mean, and he wasn't even crying when I got home. He was sitting in the car like, "What's up, Dad?" Like, just totally chill. He's crazy. He's got a crazy pain threshold. And so he had 4 stitches in his head this evening.
Wow.
So yeah, so that was awesome. But blood all over his shirt. He comes home and Jennifer, my wife, said that while they were stitching him up, he said, "Are you doing the stitches now? Are you doing the stitches?" And he couldn't even tell that anything was happening. He's crazy.
That's insane. Did they give him a shot first?
They didn't give him a shot. They gave him like a topical thing, but the whole time he was just like completely fine. Like, Hudson, how was the hospital? I watched TV and I got to read books on an iPad. Like, that was it. That was the extent of it for him. So he had a good time.
An iPad? Did the hospital provide the iPad?
The hospital provided the iPad for him to read books.
So you'll never go to that hospital again, right?
Yep, we're officially cutting all ties with that hospital.
Blacklisted.
Because I know how you roll.
That is true.
So what else is up? New Windows 10 build this week, which I think we've all downloaded.
No, I have not.
Okay, because you're actually working, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, not that I'm working, it's that I actually do use my laptop for development. So given all those warnings to developers, I switched over to the slow ring. And so hopefully they'll come up with something that works.
Yeah, so that's what I meant. You're working on upgrading your upload to YouTube app to Windows 10 Universal, right?
Yep.
Let's come back to that in a second. Robert, you've downloaded the new build, right?
I have.
So the big thing with this build is the Spartan web browser.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to play around with that?
Quite a bit. Now I'll preface this by saying I have made multiple attempts to use it for an entire computing session exclusively, and it's not there yet. But I keep having to go back to regular IE because something's missing or it doesn't work exactly right, and it's really not the rendering engine. I've heard other people say the rendering engine is screwy on some websites. The application that I write and manage at work, I ran through the browser pretty heavily. I had a release Tuesday night, and while I was sitting there...
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. After I got that production deployment done, then I did my testing using Spartan, doing the confirmation of all the fixes we put in, and I had absolutely no problems. As of right now, I don't believe that I've run into anything that would require me to change a single line of code in my application. So that's kind of surprising. The favorites bar is totally fucked and jacked. If you turn the favorites bar on over an RDP session, while the browser, you open the browser over the RDP session, you turn favorites bar on, and then you close Spartan. Every time it relaunches after that, it immediately crashes. And I had to come home and log back on, open it up, turn the favorites bar off in order for it to work over a remote session again. So.
Wow.
They got a lot of work to do, but it looks. I think it's really promising. So I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. I have it downloaded, but I have not messed around with it at all. So my bad.
Can you pop it into a VM?
Well, I actually have a machine that's dedicated to an old machine. So.
Yeah. Of course, this build of Windows 10 is a true fast ring build. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Tall Parat. That reminds me of an idea I had. You know how, Brandon has one on his Twitter avatar. You know how it's that the animated tile sort of look.
No.
Yeah.
We should do one of those templates that says "Thanks, Tall Parat," that people could put their Twitter avatar on. I think that would be pretty sweet.
That's a great idea, except for Twitter closed that the back door that allowed you to upload animated GIFs a long time ago.
You said backdoor.
I did say backdoor. I was waiting for somebody to pick up on that. That's exactly why I will never ever change my Twitter avatar for as long as I shall live, because there's no way to put it back to being an animated GIF. So I will.
Well, even if it wasn't animated, I think just to picture on top of the little...
A Twibbon.
A
That
Twib-
site, that website Twibbon. You can
Oh.
create like an overlay, and people can go and put the overlay on it, and we'll create the Tal Farrat Twibbon.
Andrew was like, what'd you say?
I thought you were saying equipment. You had a speech impediment.
No, Twibbon.
Or actually, I thought you were combining equipment and Twitter into some clever new word.
Maybe we could just make one that says, keep calm and thank Tal Parat.
There you go.
Keep calm and fast ring on.
Yeah.
Keep calm and put your fast ring on.
No, that's not what I said. I just
That's
said
what I
keep
heard.
calm and fast ring on.
Sounds a little too close to a different kind of ring, so I don't know that you really
C
want to go
ring?
there. Yeah.
Oh, funny.
Mm-hmm.
So what else is
So
new? We've got one viewer.
I wanted to. We have a section here that we never use, and it's called plugs. And I did want to talk.
Go ahead, if you've got one.
Well, I thought that was
Plug.
for people with hair plugs. I didn't know it was the
I thought it
other
was.
one.
We should call it butt plugs. That's the segment. Butt plugs. So what's the back of the show? It's totally appropriate.
I don't know about appropriate, applicable maybe appropriate, not so
Hey,
much.
I
we're
agree.
marked as
That's kinda crazy.
explicit, so it's cool. We can get away with pretty much anything. Sort of nudity. I
Until we can't.
Until
we
we
think.
can.
Right. All right.
Okay, so
Plug
anyway,
away.
Wow.
you're in rare form tonight, Andrew Long.
You know, I don't have to work tomorrow since it's Good Friday and the boys are off. I almost grabbed a bottle of vodka and brought it up here, but apparently I don't really need it tonight. Okay, now you can go ahead. It's a good
So
thing I
I've
didn't have
been-
any real stuff to talk about. Sorry. Now I'm done.
You know I'm totally fucking up your show clothes tonight, right? I just want to make sure you know this.
You have no idea what I have in store.
So I've been using this. I didn't know about it until I was at the Chocolatey GitHub website. So the Chocolatey project has a nice GitHub website. You know, they use all those MD files to make cool little pages at the front of their Chocolatey site. And they had a link in their chat room, and it said, "Come join us. Come join in the conversation about Chocolatey in our Gitter, Gitter, chat room." And I was like, "The fuck is Gitter?" So I clicked the link, and no shit, it looks exactly like Slack, but it is expressly made for GitHub projects. And I didn't even know this existed. So, and it's really slick. It's, you know, kind of like all the other awesome social mediums out there. It allows you to get in touch with the, you know, the main contributors of a GitHub project in a really cool way, and pop in, hey, I'm having a problem here. Oh yeah, that'll be fixed in the next release, or no, file an issue, you know, all this stuff. So, and it's really cool. I've been hanging out on there for quite a while, and actually, it looks like they opened it up now to where teams, they don't say GitHub teams, they say teams. Any team of up to 25 people is completely free to all collaborate via Gitter. So it was pretty cool, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So just thought I'd throw that out there.
That is, so the implementation
Today, Junior.
is Slack-like, but is GitHub going up against Slack, or is GitHub answering the feature set they're missing in order to go up against Visual Studio Online?
I think they're going up against Slack.
Interesting.
If I had to pick between the two, because I don't think anybody knows anything about VS Online's rooms. Nobody fucking knows about those. Nobody uses them. They are completely nobody freaking talks about those.
Well, they don't right now because, as it was pointed out today, and I didn't really realize it when they were talking about, I forget where I saw it. I'll find the link for the show notes. But
What's that?
Visual Studio being positioned, Visual Studio Online, now Microsoft recommitting to go over after the enterprise. Up until this point, it's been relatively small teams. It's been indie people like, all my stuff's on Visual Studio Online. and they haven't really made a concerted push into the enterprise with it yet, and that's where their next step off is. So yeah, most people don't know rooms exist now, but I would imagine that at some point that it'll be interesting to see whether Visual Studio Online, they start integrating some stuff that you're seeing in Slack and now this other Gitter.im into the rooms concept there. So I don't know. It seems like that's kind of the trend for these repository type applications.
I don't feel, honestly, like Visual Studio Online has a chance in hell at hitting the enterprise. And the reason I say that is because it's hard enough to tell your IT department you're going to have a database in the cloud. Try telling them that you're going to store fucking source code in the cloud. That ain't happening. It's not going to happen.
Hold that thought. We're at the end of the show. 25pt4.com.
Oh, no, I'm still
Find
talking.
us on your favorite podcast app. On Twitter at 25.4podcast. Sorry, Rudy. We ran out of time. Seacrest out.
La la. Try and find that when you cut the audio, bitch.
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
And we're now after dark.
We're after dark. I should go turn off the light.
All right, so you're saying, Brandon? Well, I
What
think
was
you
I
said it pretty much.
I did. I kind of finished my thought. Yeah, I just,
In the cloud.
I can't get my IT department won't allow frickin' anything in the cloud. They're blocking Dropbox. They're blocking OneDrive. They're blocking, Box.net. They're blocking everything and anything that has anything to do with cloud. And
Yeah. So
it's
IT is worried about their job security, right? And
well, I think it's
I think
that,
that's
but
a lot
they
of-
get permission. They get permission from the upper leadership by pandering, the FUD, right? Well, it's out in the cloud. What happens if they get hacked? What happens if, the data center starts on fire? We don't have control. Da, da, da. And that's the message that they push to the presidents and the CEOs, who then say, okay, here's your check. Yes, go block all the things and buy me a new data center and put it over in the corner and manage it with your 12 minions.
Well, now see what's interesting about that is the experience at my employer is not like that. There is an active interest in wanting to move more infrastructure into the cloud. There's been more of a move. The application that I work on is run on Amazon right now. We have an offshore team that does some stuff on a different application for some of the affiliate companies that are part of this umbrella I work with, and they specifically have the need to look at Azure. And they have every 2 weeks. Once they do their 3-week sprint, they do a tech review, and then I get to come in and that. And I've been asked to actually do a presentation to the whole dev team in Ireland about Azure because there's a lot of interest in it there. And the CIO, who happens to be the big boss, is in that office, not in the affiliate offices here in the States, where a lot of that IT chatter that you're talking about comes from. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think my experience is probably necessarily 100% representative, but I kind of suspect yours probably isn't either. I think it's going to probably fall somewhere in the middle, and that's probably why Microsoft has had such issues getting more enterprises onto Visual Studio. I think you're kind of right about that to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, as far as infrastructure goes, I mean, I think Andrew hit the nail on the head saying that they're worried about their jobs, because I think all it's going to take is the right CEO to talk to the CEO of my company and say, dude, do you realize we just saved $200 million last year because we moved everything to the cloud, and I employ 3 IT people now. And my CEO is going to come back to my CIO and go, the fuck you been selling me? That's my dream anyway.
Well, and once there's more uptake and adoption, there'll be more people. Your CIO is more likely to cross paths with somebody that will actually tell him that right now. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of big companies.
Yeah.
That can say it.
So I think a valid argument for me to my IT department or to somebody about cloud versus on-premises is, what happens when our TFS server, our on-prem TFS server goes down, and then we realize that the backups haven't been working for a month.
Exactly.
Which is
Where's the ownership?
a very realistic scenario where I work. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. We were trying to spin up a server recently, and we were told, yeah, we'll set up a backup plan, but we don't ever test our backup plans. We just kind of set them up, and all the options say it should work like this, so we just kind of, it's working until it's not.
Exactly. Which is what we needed.
I think you know what? Now I'm actually convinced. I mean, when I get into the office tomorrow morning, one of the things I had on my goal sheet for the year was to move our TFS instance and consolidate it with the TFS instance in Ireland and create one corporate TFS instance. And actually, now I'm going to change that. I'm going to see if I'll let the CIO let me move our repository into Visual Studio Online. Just to spite you. Just to spite you, Brandon.
Yeah, that would. I would be a little bit jealous.
If you're bringing in an instance from Ireland, you should name it like.
Listen, look at you can hear the gears from here. He can't even finish the thought. Oh boy, I'm waiting for this one. Tell me.
I don't know.
Oh come on!
No, I shouldn't.
Look at him edging the conversation right now.
It's not like a reporter's going to go in and ask you if you deny service to gay people or anything like that. Nobody's even listening to this podcast. Just out with it already.
I was just going to say like a generic Irish name, but then I was trying to think of something that would be a little funnier, but I couldn't.
Like Fergus?
No. Like Patty O'Brien or something. Wayne Fitzpatrick or Patrick Fitzryan.
There you go.
It could be like O'Brien.acs.net or whatever the hell your name of your company is. That would be the location of the Ireland TFS server.
Those guys are crazy. We've only been over there one time, and but man. They can. That whole thing about the drinking, that ain't a stereotype. That's fucking fact. That's 100% fact.
Did you say something about their accents are super thick when you get them on a conference call?
Yeah, it's well, I mean, we're on a WebEx, and they're in Ireland, and there's 4 or 5 of them in a room, and the connection's bad enough as it is. But then one of the it's like they can all talk over one another and actually understand everything the other person. They're like having multiple conversations at the same time, and they're all talking at the same time. And I can't do that. I'm a linear person. I can talk to you and I can talk to you, but I can't have like 5 conversations going. And they can, and they do. And I can't understand like 60% of what's actually said. It's like me, I know just enough Spanish that when I hear it, I can kind of get the general gist of what's being said. These are English-speaking Irishmen, and it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing. And that's me. That's not them. That's perfectly natural. I'm actually envious. I wish I had that ability.
So, Brandon, how's the conversion going for upload to YouTube?
Yeah, it's not.
That was abrupt.
It sounds promising.
Yep. Yeah, it is. I may actually go back to the drawing board and rewrite the whole damn thing.
That's what I'm
doing. The conversion process isn't working, or
it's just too much. Like I'm trying to manage my common library that I talked about last time. I'm trying to get that up to Universal. There's too much in there that was straight up on Silverlight. So then it's like, okay, do I just exclude it? Do I try and find the similarity? The stuff that I do have alternatives for, do I if-def them so that I can still have the same common code base? more and more I just exclude this file from the project. Fuck it, I'm done with that one. I'm just going to find out how not to use it. Exclude that file. Okay, I can pound if def that using statement, so we're good there. And then I haven't even gotten back into upload to YouTube where I've got to change all the XAML and shit now yet, too. So I'm probably just going to be better off rewriting the whole thing from scratch. I've learned there's a lot of lessons learned between background uploaders and Azure Mobile Services, Application Insights, Azure Notification Hubs, all of this stuff. There's enough stuff that I've learned to where rewriting actually probably isn't the worst idea. It's just I just have to find the time. I got to sit here and chat with you yahoos 3 hours a week. I got kids that's
all the show prep we do as well.
Yeah.
I got kids that I guess need a father, so I gotta do that.
You're in the house. What more do they want?
Right? I'm present. I'm right here.
It's kind of like the I've had, starting with Windows 7, I've actually at home had the exact same formatted hard drive. When I went from 7 to 8, I did an upgrade. When I went from 8 to 8.1, I did an upgrade. And it's the first time in the Windows history for me that I haven't gotten about 8 months in and went, fuck it, I got to reformat everything and start over from scratch. The OSs have been that good. But it's kind of the same. There's going to be such a jump from 8, and I don't know. It's kind of the same thing. At what point do you say, you know what, enough shit has changed that you're way better off just starting over from scratch, doing a wipe, and just doing it from the beginning again? And it's the same thing with, I'm going to write Hashtastic from the ground up. I'm not going to even attempt to upgrade it.
And I think not only that, but I don't think that I will learn as much about the WinRT API by doing a Silverlight conversion as I would if I just started a new app. I think that the learning opportunity is greater to just start in on it.
Well, if you don't want to get behind the curve, if you don't want to be behind the 8 ball, you want to be ahead of the pack, you're definitely going to need to have that learning experience now rather than later.
Yeah.
The other thing for me too. Go ahead, Brandon.
And builds coming up. This stuff is gonna hit big time here in the next 1, 2, 3 months, and then everybody's gonna have their hands on it. And that's what Build is for developers to get ahead of the curve. That's why we already have the Windows 10 SDK, is for the Windows insiders to start working on this shit. And I want to be ahead of the curve. I want to be able to put on my resume, I've done Windows 10 Universal App Development. I've got the Windows 10 build. I was there. I did it. I don't want to say, well, I dabbled in it, but I never really got anywhere like I have with the fucking Galileo board. I got one and I plugged it in and it didn't work, so I quit. That's basically the extent of what happened to me. They sent me an effed up SD card, and I don't have the time to troubleshoot that shit. I want it to work out of the box. Which gets me back to another one of my points, but I'll let Andrew Lung get in his.
What I was going to say, the other thing for me with doing a fresh rewrite is I always feel like a couple of years down the road that hopefully I'm a better developer / architect / whatever than I was when I started initial development on that app. So doing a fresh rewrite gives me a chance to sort of do some of the things I did before in a better way or differently than I did before, and instead of band-aiding or doing whatever to fix stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the mantra, you're not done until you've written it 3 times.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm a big fan of that. And I think it holds true in more cases than not.
Yeah. So, and having a whole new thing like Windows 10 Universal, it just seems like a good spot to do that anyway.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I wish that Gabe and those guys hadn't given in to the yammering about not having a build because in last month, because one of the things, to your point earlier, Brandon, getting the SDK in people's hands sooner rather than later is a good thing, and it's great for Microsoft, and that's got to be one of the things that's paramount in their mind as they're marching through this, is trying to get all the tooling and everything done in time for build, as one of the primary milestone goals in the development of Windows 10 and all the associated tool sets that go along with it. So, I mean, I guess that's one reason I get a little irritated with non-developers, these insiders screaming about these builds, especially you-know-who. Because, like, Microsoft's got a lot of work to do. You want great apps? Shut up and let them do their job so we can actually the developers can actually get the tools they need stable sooner rather than later.
Well, and directly to that point, all of this screaming about builds, they just released a new build that is broken for developers.
Exactly.
Like, after they just released the SDK, the very next build won't fucking work with the SDK.
Thanks, Tall Parad.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
So.
Yeah, and I fully expected that we wouldn't see the Windows 10 SDK until build. So I think them getting that out, this far ahead of build is a pretty substantial achievement. Yeah. I almost, I'm starting to wonder if maybe by the time build comes around, I mean that's 4 weeks. If we don't maybe even see a go live license by then. With the SDK.
Have you guys seen? So I've just recently, after they finally fixed up the emulators and everything for Windows 10 with this Windows 10 SDK, is when I finally installed the 2015 CTP. At that point, it's a CTP 6 now. Have you guys seen the NuGet package manager in this fucking thing?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Holy crap! They completely redid it. The NuGet package manager is completely redone. It's insane. Now, I'm trying to bring up 2013 and 2015 side by side.
In a good way or a bad way? You're using lots of words like completely redone and insane and oh my god.
Crazy.
I don't know that I can say that it's good or bad. I really don't know yet.
It's just drastically different.
It's drastically different, and part of it, I mean, I sent out about it, and somebody from the NuGet team replied, and they said, "Yeah, we've still got a lot of work to do." And I was like, well, yay, because now you fucking overcomplicated things, frankly. I mean, this thing is way overcomplicated than the old one. I'm trying to get them up side by side here to show you guys. Anyway, since we're now
back to
I just talk about whatever I want.
While you're doing that, you were asking about, or you were making the comment about whether or not we'd see a Go Live license before build. I don't know how much. Do you suspect? I wouldn't suspect that you would see a Go Live license until the store is ready. Because what would be the point? And if you're trying to give yourself more time, I don't know. I kind of feel like it would be dependent on when the store was actually ready to start taking apps.
So the store is in beta, right?
I don't know.
The
I'm
Unified.
it is.
I mean, there is a store that says beta.
Oh, the app, yeah.
Windows 10, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe they're close to being able to take apps. Who knows, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It would be nice if
I would not be surprised to see that announced at build, is what I meant, not before build.
Okay.
But at build, that they announced a Go Live license and that the store was ready to take your shit.
That would be actually a welcome development. I'm also here's a grievance for you that I didn't mention earlier. I've seen a lot of chatter from people naysaying about the September date. Or the summer, being able to get it done by the summer. Just a reminder, folks, summer's not over until September.
That's right.
So they've got a good amount of time, and yes, there are some issues with Windows 10, but what you're seeing as an insider is significantly further behind than where they really are. And I think there are some issues, but it's still relatively stable. I mean, this last build was shit. Thanks, Tall, but I expect the next one to be a lot more stable. In fact, I expect the build we get at build, or somewhere around there, is probably going to be significantly further ahead than where we're at with the one we have right now. At least I'm hoping.
Yeah. And the end of summer, it's almost a full 6 months, and
yeah.
they can do Lots and lots of stuff in 6 months.
Yeah. So calm down, Virginia. They're going to get it done. That's a gay thing. Y'all don't really get that reference, do you? Yeah, exactly. I almost said, "Are you high, Clary?" earlier, but you probably wouldn't have gotten that one either. Yeah, see, no, there's... I think I can do that by simply just saying the word Steel Magnolias.
Or turn your camera towards the Show Tunes posters.
Yeah, and the Moulin Rouge poster. What time is it? Good Lord, it's 7:15.
For you.
Okay, so I'm almost there.
Oh shit! I forgot we were waiting on Brandon.
No, it's this is what I get from weeks of RAM in this goddamn yoga.
You know, your audio right now sounds like I'm listening to a conference call with the Irish guys.
Well, and then probably because I've got 2 instances of Visual Studio cranking away in the background right now. It's trying to process them.
That's probably doing it.
I thought your yoga was more powerful than that.
So, well, it's got the i7, but it still only has 8 gigs of RAM.
Oh.
That's an issue.
All right. It is.
Because there needs to be more stuff available with 16 gigs of RAM.
Damn straight. I don't know what the hell they're
Yeah.
doing that they can't come out with a 16 gig SODIMM, but they're definitely dragging their asses on it. That's for sure. All right.
Could be the
And I
SP4.
want to-
Anybody going to buy a Surface 3 while Brandon's still doing something?
Not for myself. I'll probably buy one for my mom for Christmas to get her the hell off the iPad. She's like they just got 2 identical Dell Inspiron 11-inch convertibles. My dad got his own. My mom got her own. My mom had hers shipped to me. They bought them through the Microsoft Store, so it was a signature experience. But they also shipped me her old PC, so I moved all of her stuff onto her laptop, configured OneDrive for her, and then remapped all of her local music documents, videos, pictures, and everything to her OneDrive. And you should have heard her squeal with glee, telling me about how she had taken, because she's got a 928, a Lumia 928 on Verizon, and she was taking care of the grandkids, and she had taken all these pictures, and then when she got home, she booted up her laptop, and there were all the pictures in her photos album, and she didn't have to do anything. She thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever.
Was it magical?
It was magical.
It sounds kind of magical. Actually.
It was magical. And then I pointed out to her, it's like, hey, if this laptop ever crashes, just basically hit it with a hammer, go buy a new one, and sign one in with your Microsoft account, because the way I've got it set up, everything will just work. And we'll see how that goes. But this was primarily because my dad wouldn't stop clicking on random shit on the internet and infected their home PC with God knows what. I didn't even want to bring it up on my network. I basically pulled the hard drive and just stuck the hard drive in my own desktop and pulled it up and grabbed the data off of it and chunked the damn thing.
All right, so I'm sharing my screen. Can y'all see it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's sexy.
Okay.
Hold on, let me freeze you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
sure.
don't forget and leave him there for the next hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's how I produce.
So on this side that I've got highlighted right now, this is Visual Studio 2013 NuGet Package Manager. I'm looking at the updates from NuGet.org, and these are the updates for my Who Called Me app for the NuGet packages that I've got in that app. All right, cool. This is the one you've been seeing since like Visual Studio 2010 when you added the NuGet Package Manager extension to it, right?
Right.
Same shit. Here's 2015's view of the same thing.
Whoa.
Notice it's now a tab inside the IDE. You still get the alert that you need to restore some packages. Here's NuGet.org with a filter that upgrade available. You can do all installed or upgrade available. It's not the tabs on the left. You can choose package sources individually. What I don't like here is you can't choose across all package sources anymore.
Mm.
Here's your include pre-release option. Here's your search box. But then down in here, this is where it gets funky. If I want to upgrade Add Duplex, Then, if AddDuplex has any dependencies, do I go after the lowest dependency that matches? Can I go after the highest version of the dependency? Can I go to the highest patch, the highest minor? More importantly, what the fuck does any of this actually mean? Oh, look, there's a learn about options. I should probably click that.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
File conflict actions. You got this you get to deal with now. Here's all of the information about this thing. That's cool. You know, you get these nice little icons over here for the ones that have updates. Here's versions you can actually choose. You know, what do you want to go after? But you can see it's radically different than what you've been accustomed to. Here's the different versions of Newtonsoft JSON. I don't mind it. It's radically different.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a learning curve with those dependency options. But
yeah.
I like seeing the additional information about stuff without having to leave the tab, which was kind of a problem with the other one. If you wanted to see more about something, you had to click in over and go to the website. Now it's all right here.
Very cool. We had a demo tonight. How about that?
Unfreeze me. Don't leave me frozen up on the big screen here.
You look so handsome.
Well, thank you, sir. And I don't even have a natural faux hawk going on.
No.
Would you two like a moment alone?
It'd be so lucky. We pretty much do, really. We pretty much are alone.
What do you think we had while you were fixing your computer issues there?
Well, that didn't take long. I'm sorely disappointed in both of your stamina. I was only gone for like 2 minutes.
I've been up since like 4 a.m. Pacific time.
Pacific time.
I misplaced that tiny violin again. Damn it. I did want to talk about Pacific time.
I did want to talk about one more thing about this Visual Studio Extension development and why it frustrates me so much, because I think it's something developers need to hear.
Is this the tough love portion of the show?
We're waiting.
Well, yes and no. You guys already know this, but if I have to work this hard to use your product, you fail. I am having to put in way too much effort to use your product. And right or wrong, I am viewed by some people, at least the people who pay me a salary, as a senior developer. Okay, so I'm a senior developer by title at my job. I'm not trying to qualify myself. And I am absolutely fucking lost when it comes to developing an extension for Visual Studio. The amount of magic GUIDs that you have to put in the right places, the magic strings that need to go over here, the right interfaces you need to know ahead of time that you want to pull out, is absolutely insane. So please, if you're a developer and you're writing something that you want people to A, consume, or B, extend, think about your people that are going to be doing this work and make it easy for them to get up and running with your stuff. Or they're going to spend 10 minutes, throw it at the wall, and move on to something else.
Is a GUID a cousin of a Druid? Because I don't think I've ever heard of a GUID before. Now I've heard of a GUID before.
GUID? Really? GUID?
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever heard of a GUID.
I've heard both. It's GIF or GIF, or what are some of the other ones?
GUID, like squid?
GUID, yeah.
I've never heard it said GUID.
Yeah.
I've heard both. But
yeah,
I'm in the middle of the country. Sometimes I swing both ways.
Wow.
And there's tonight's revelation, folks.
Tonight is come out of the closet night on the 25.4 podcast.
Watch. I'm gonna come out of that closet that's right behind you there, Robert. Sneak up on me.
That looks like the type of closet that a serial killer might emerge from, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. We'd all be like, Robert, look behind you.
It's all very cabin in the woods back there.
So speaking of serial killers coming out of closet, where's Esteban tonight?
He's late. I don't know why he's. Oh, he had to stop and get salad.
Okay then.
Yeah. It's spring break here, so the traffic is much lighter this week. But he did have to make a detour. So
It's spring break here as well.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
My wife's a teacher, so she gets to stay home with the kids during all of spring break, which I'm sure she just absolutely loves doing.
Yeah, that sounds like a real winning vacation for her.
I feel really bad.
Yeah.
I go off to work and I
can
come
tell.
home from work.
The laughter gives it away.
Oh, I do feel bad.
I just like the fact that it's a little lighter. People are a little less stupid when there's more sunlight outside on the road. And it, I can't wait for summer to start when all the kids are out of school and I can actually not have to dodge traffic.
I'm enjoying the weather as well. It got up to 82 degrees here yesterday,
Wow.
which tied a record that had been standing since like the early 1900s or something crazy like that. It was pretty nuts. And then today it was 60. So there's that.
And you guys will get snow again, won't you?
Oh,
It's all said and done.
there's not a small chance. There's probably, I'd say, a 20 to 30% chance we'll have snow yet again this year.
Well, hopefully
It's
Go ahead.
It's supposed to get down to 34 degrees tonight, so if it were to rain tonight, it'd be snow.
Well, hopefully the snow you get will be from some Pacific storms that will eventually make their way to your neck of the woods because we're finally supposed to get some rain this weekend.
Yeah. Do you with the governor's orders? Do you have to like cut down on bathing and stuff? Or?
No, you know what's interesting? I had to ask Greg, where are we going to get 25% from? Because we've got our house is on pretty much a third of an acre, and we've never watered it in the 7 years we live here. Even during the summer, we just let the shit die. So the baseline for which they are going to calculate our 25% reduction is already really low. We get those reports from the water district that say where we are in comparison, our house to other, and we're always way below the average. So hopefully that's part of their little algorithm when they decide how much each individual house has to cut.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah. Well, we've been under voluntary
it'd be funny if it
restrictions
wasn't.
for a while. Yeah. Well, I can get in and out
Don't
of the
flush that
shower.
toilet yet.
What?
Don't flush that toilet yet.
God, that's nasty.
Peeing in the shower, baby.
I can get in and out of the shower in 7 minutes, and that's 10 if I have to shave. I am not the person who takes the really long showers in the house, and this timing of this couldn't be more perfect because Esteban just got home. And I'm getting the glare of death from the other room, so
I'd say you solved your 25% issue right
I'm
there.
going to shut up now. Oh, the water bill's here.
Oh, awesome. Let's open it. Take a look.
Totally. Let's see. We're going to open our water bill live on
This
air.
is how exciting the 25.4 podcast is, folks. We're opening
Drum
our
roll,
bills.
please. Our water
Oh,
bill is
hold on.
$91.42.
Jesus.
And let's see, we have our little handy guide on the back. Our baseline use is 209 gallons per day, and we're not to exceed 1,000 gallons. So you can see we've got 1,000 gallon a day allotment, and we're only hitting 209.
You could take that 800 gallons and probably bottle it up and sell it.
I probably could at this point. That would probably end up paying the $91 water bill, huh?
Jesus, that seems like a shitload of water. 200 in a day?
Well, it's
Yeah, but I bet you guys use like 4 times that.
Oh yeah.
Please,
Really?
Brandon.
The big
With
family
kids?
like yours? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. How many kids you have? You bathe them, right?
Not every day.
Well, now wait a minute. Let me clarify something. That is our baseline. That is what we are judged against. Our current gallons per day is actually only 159.
Wow. Maybe you guys need to bathe more.
Well, I bathe every day.
So is that a monthly water bill for you, Bobby?
I think we get our bill every 2 months.
Okay.
Let's see here. Statement activity is, and of course it's a government freaking document, so you can barely read the damn thing.
Put on your glasses, Pappy.
Yeah, I probably. Yeah, it's a 2 month because the last time I paid the bill it was February 25th.
So mine's a 3 month bill. Mine's quarterly, and it's $93 a quarter.
Jeez. Ours is 2 months, and it's about 100, 110.
What the hell? Either I don't use a lot of water, or you guys have expensive water.
We have expensive
I think
water.
you have cheap water.
Cheap water? Well, I am in the land of 10,000 lakes, so it's in abundance.
There you go.
The water here is not cheap. It is 56 cents. Yeah, I can't read that. I don't even know what I'm being charged. I just know
I have no
it's
idea what's going on here.
It's $91. I don't know how they calculate it. I
say
can't
no,
even
that's
tell you.
water
I couldn't tell you what the rate. You know, they tell you how many gallons per day you're using. The least they could do is say, "This is how much per gallon we're going to charge you." No, that's not how it works.
They should just have signs up out on the highways and stuff, like the gas stations do. That way everybody would know. Brilliant idea to me. I don't know what you guys are laughing at.
My God in heaven! I just read my water bill on air.
Yeah, but it's after dark. Anything goes. Hey, apparently the Windows Phone store was slow in getting app updates through today.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
In spite of what you might have read, the world did not come to an end.
No, it didn't. It certainly did for some certain fans of you-know-who.
I didn't trudge down into the comments of that article, but I can only imagine the fun and frivolity that was.
Well, it's just I'm sure we all remember the last time there was a major outage that affected developers and applications, and the resistance and the snide comments and the witch hunt against Brandon that ensued afterwards. And the minute Rudy opened his mouth, Daniel got on his knees and went to town and wrote him his nice big story about his 4.1 update not being available yet. God, Jesus Christ, just marry the guy already.
Maybe that's what they're going to
Seriously.
do at Build in the Channel 9 booth.
Big gay wedding at Bill.
I would be sorry to not be out there for that.
Yeah.
We'd Periscope it for you. Oh, wait, no, we wouldn't.
That would be cool. Tim's got an iPhone. I'm sure. I know
Bring it to
Robert
Build.
could find an iPhone if he really wanted to. I think there's like iPhones just laying around the house there.
Oh, God, I'm glad that's not the case.
So Ello supposedly did a big site update today, and I went there and I couldn't tell any difference. So I don't know what they're talking about.
I got that email yesterday, and I went online. I'm like, I don't see anything fucking different.
What is that? I don't even know what LO is.
Neither does
LOL?
anybody else.
LOL?
ELLO.co. That's right. They couldn't be bothered to do a .com either. They went super hipster on this bitch.
Well, I can't say anything. I mean, my vanity URL is a .us.
Yeah, but that's a vanity URL.
Yeah, but
It's not
that's
a
part of your
corporate
name,
URL.
though, right?
Well, yeah, I guess my brand.
Well, yeah.
God, how douchey did that sound? My brand.
We were going to let it ride, but since you mentioned it.
That's totally... I mean, I'm going to start calling people normals pretty soon and not even realize I'm doing it. But not randoms. I'm not going to say... If I say randoms, just shoot me.
Randoms? Randos.
No, that's too close to my name. You guys
That
end up
is.
with FUBAR and that. I do not approve of that one.
You do not approve.
How many viewers we got? We're nearing the end of After Dark. I
One.
feel.
There's still one.
One faithful viewer. We love you in
We
a
do.
completely platonic heterosexual manner.
That
It's all
is
hard.
2 out of
that's
3.
either,
2 out of 3.
that's either Nate or it's Joel Jackson, and I'm putting my money on Joel Jackson because he tweeted me earlier. Love the Apple coffee cup.
He
I saw
tweeted
that.
you.
I saw that tweet.
Yeah. So
And-
I'm betting it's him.
I think
You don't
he
love
must
the
have.
Apple coffee cup.
He must have fell asleep at his computer. Is what happened. There's no other real explanation.
He's gonna face roll you a tweet here in a minute. Joel, tweet, Joel. We're all just waiting for your tweet right now.
He might really be asleep at his computer. That might not be completely out of the realm of possibility.
Oh yeah, I know.
Send a
You
tweet,
won't
Joel,
answer
and then we'll close the show out. We're not leaving until Joel tweets.
Do it. I did. I started the Periscope earlier.
I saw that.
Nobody came in at all. I think what's happened now is people will only go and watch Periscopes if they think there's like going to be naked chicks in it.
It's going to be like chat roulette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to start it up with like 3 guys for fun or something.
3 guys, 1 room.
That's actually not bad.
How many good ideas have we had on this show? See, we need to do
All
this
of
more
them.
often. All of the
them.
ideas. All of the ideas. Both
And
of
like
them.
a typical Windows Phone app developer, we haven't figured out the whole monetization thing yet.
Yeah, right? Why aren't we rich yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had an idea to kind of experiment without having real sponsors. I need to look into it more before I say anything, but there could
Well,
be something
thanks for
there.
nothing.
For me, anyway, for me.
That was the
Nice.
virtual equivalent of just the tip.
Right. Yeah. Andrew Long's over there edging the whole audience right now.
Wow, look at Brandon.
Busted out with the Urban Dictionary.
Robert, yeah. Robert
Hey, I've just latched onto that one because it just resonated. I don't know why. It just did. So.
I think docking is my favorite one that I've learned from Robert.
Hanging out with me is an education.
I mean, I had some knowledge, but that
Y'all
was totally new to me.
Y'all are much more hip for having known me. You know that, right?
Oh, that's the only reason I hang out with you is to just keep in touch with the hipsters.
If y'all were gay, I could totally get y'all laid at Build. I'd dress you up, take you down to the Castro. Hell, I might do that just for kicks. No?
I'm sure Sebastian will be up for it.
I bet
there
he
you go.
will,
You
too.
Frenchie, yeah, he'd do that all day long. All day long. That guy.
Hey, the Blues
Yeah.
win, everybody. The Blues win. So, are we doing a show or something? Now I can devote my full attention over here.
Nice. So glad to welcome you back, Andrew.
Hello
Producer
again,
man.
everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome.
All right,
I think it's about time we shut this baby down.
It is. I have to go intervene before Esteban burns the kitchen down.
All right.
Can you do that with salad?
You'd be surprised. You could certainly do it with a thawed frozen pizza and an oven. One day we will tell the story earlier in the show when he's not at home.
There
Yes,
you go.
let's
That's
do
a
that.
team. Maybe next week.
There you go. Well, that's your second edge for the evening.
Tune again next time.
All right. We've beaten this one to death.